Oh, wonderful. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning, Steady.
Great.
Morning, Steady.
You're very...
Morning,
Thank
Steady.
you. Good morning, and welcome to our information session on SCORE. Thank you very much. Yes, I think as part of productivity, I think time is of essence. And I know that all of you are very busy people and you have taken your special time to come and attend this very important information session. That is there for us as a sector, as an opportunity for our sector. So you are very much welcome. I don't know, Pumeza, are you able to share the presentation? Then so that when we start, we just cruise. Before
no access, Steady.
You don't have access?
No.
All right. All right. So let me just share from my side here. All right. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'll run the presentation from my side as we start. So thank you very much and welcome to everyone. I think we have quite a number of businesses, quite a number of consultants or trainers, SCORE trainers that are here. And we will not take a lot of time to introduce each other, but I think what we can do is we can just use the notes or the chat to just say your name and your organization. So then at least we know we'll be able to capture. We will share the presentation or the recording with everyone else, everyone who has participated, and even other companies that unfortunately because of time could also not attend. So thank you very much. Welcome. So yes, I'll just start. I think we'll start now. I'll start with introduction. So my name is Steady Mkondiwa. I'm the organizer of this session, and I'm accompanied in the presentation by Pumeza, and we also with Vijay Bhagwan, Pumeza Nobongoza. So I am the Director of Productivity and Training for the National Bargaining Council for Clothing and Clothing Manufacturing Sector. But we are doing quite a number of interventions for the CTFL sector. So because of our master plan, we basically are one. We share the master plan. So most of the interventions we share, and where we get opportunities, we also share with our our sister sectors. So that's clothing manufacturing, which is us, textile, footwear, and leather. So we basically share the same. So that's why I've also invited textile to be part of the beneficiaries to this program. And yes, you're very much welcome. So I think Pumeza, you can just introduce yourself quickly. Then Vijay, who you are, what you do. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pumeza, as Didi have said. I am providing support and consulting services to the Productivity and Training Institute. I'm also an independent consultant, so I'm also running this program called SCORE. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Pumeza. And Vijay, I think one of our training consultants. Pumeza is based in the Western Cape, and we've got Vijay, who's also one of our expert SCORE trainers, who is based in KZN. So Vijay, you can just introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. I've shared some notes on the chat platform. I'm Vijay Bhagwan, and I deal with training and consultancy in the clothing industry. I've been involved for the last 40 years or more. and I've trained in different countries besides South Africa, but I'm also a certified SCORE trainer, and I've carried out a few projects over the past few years.
Wonderful.
Okay,
All
thank you.
right. Okay, thank you very much, Vijay. So I will start our presentation. I hope we can all see. So the main objective of today's information session, I think for most of you have seen an advert inviting companies to express interest on this funded program. So the session is basically to inform businesses about the Global SCORE program, which is a training intervention that we are going to do in 2024 and up to about mid-2025. We also going to, through the training consultant who have already trained about 18 companies in the country in the clothing sector. They're going to share the global, successes of SCORE from their learnings as the trained experts and also their experiences in South Africa. So they are going to share the key success factors of SCORE and their learnings out of there. And obviously, as we are meeting as a sector, we believe that, working as an ecosystem is very important for us. And I think all of us who are here, we are a community of productivity, and we can learn one or two things from one another, and we can all make this program or project SCORE very important. I think you're going to get a lot more technical information around what the program is and how it's trained from the trainers. So I'm just going to give a bit of an overview. Because I'm from the clothing manufacturing sector, textile, please forgive me, but we are basically the same sector, and I think the challenges are the same. But some of the numbers we just talk to the clothing sector. So I think we know that, the clothing sector has been challenged from the 2000s. We were at around 100,000 employees, and we have gone down to 42,000 employees now. So we can say over the past 20 years, we've shed more than half of our employees. And this was not because of changes in technology or improvement in technology or improvement in productivity, but it is because we basically are only supplying 32% of our market. I think there are quite a number of reasons. Some are at macroeconomic level and so forth and so on. So now, an expectation would have been that with a country that is growing at an annual rate of about 700,000 people per annum, our sector, which is making clothes, textile, linen, and so on, would actually have been growing because it's directly correlated to the number of people that are in there. But obviously, the challenge that we part of what we meet is that we don't have a lot of market presence. And in our industry diagnosis, which we have done over the past 7 years, mainly as productivity and training for the clothing sector, and also looking at our sister companies through the CTFL master plan team and so on. Part of what we have picked in are quite a number of challenges. There are external and internal challenges, things that we can control, and some that are, a bit more at macroeconomic level. But the list is we have seen low employee engagement, and low workplace cooperation. That's basically one of our number one productivity challenges in the sector. Then we have also lack of effective manufacturing systems, especially in the SMME side, and even some of the larger factories as well. We have also low multi-skilling, and also we have seen that there's quite a bit of ineffective skills development, people that are trained that cannot deliver at the right level. Then I think the other bigger issues are obviously financial underinvestment in relevant technologies. It's quite a challenge, especially with the level of productivity and challenges that we have as a sector. Our margins are not great, so there is that challenge with our sector. But obviously, all these are opportunities. Then we also have seen that there's access to retail and failure to respond to changing market demands. So that's a bigger issue, which part of what the master plan is trying to solve. Then there's obviously issues around market protection, import control, smuggled goods, and so forth and so on. So these are some of the challenges that we've picked. And the clothing industry, having identified that as a sector, we are challenge like this, we have obviously been looking at solutions to try and intervene so that at least whatever that remains of the sector can be sustainable first before we start looking at growing. And with our master plan, its intention is to grow the sector to 65% of local products on our market, and currently we're sitting at 32. So we need to double that. And we have also realized that for us to be able to realize that growth, there's a need for us and for the existing businesses to be sustainable, like what I've said. And we also need a foundation to support inclusive growth. So I think all the challenges that we've spoken about, which is the skills, which is engagement, which is a low workplace and cooperation, they are actually detrimental to that growth. So so in line with that, we've been searching for some opportunities to see what we can do as a sector to improve. And fortunately, in the Job Summit of October 2018, the social partners, which is our employers, employer associations, and labor, was also attended. They voiced their concern around issues of productivity. And fortunately, in that very same session where ILO was there, then there was also the EU present, and they actually gave an opportunity to support the sector. And the ILO actually then started showing us some of the programs that they've used, to try and improve productivity globally. And this is when we came to SCORE. And the program, we started it in 2020 in South Africa in the clothing sector. And we were funded by the EU to train 10 local trainers. And unfortunately, of the 10, only 6 managed to get certification, which is PUMEZA is one of them, and VJ, and the other team members are not able to come today. It's 4 of them that are not here. But we've managed to have 6 very focused clothing textile industry focused trainers. We managed to run a pilot of 18 factories in 3 clusters nationally, so that was mainly in the Western Cape. We also ran in Gauteng, mainly Joburg, Pretoria, and also in KZN, just a bit around the KZN North, Isitebe, and mainly in Durban. So that's 18 factories. So we have quite some data and some success stories out of the implementations. So now, again, through the partnership with the International Labour Organization, knowing the challenges that our sector is facing and the challenge to be able to internally fund training, we have managed to secure funds from the Flemish government of Belgium, so that's Flanders. And this is to roll out SCORE to 45 companies in the clothing and textile factories in 2024. So that's basically using the ILO model, which is the SCORE model. And the funding is mainly to fund the productivity consultants, the champions that are going to run implementation. So that's the one of the people that you have seen here, PUMEZA and VJ. Now, so why SCORE? So I think as a Bargaining Council Productivity and Training Institute, we've been trying since 2016 to, we've run quite a number of productivity improvement programs through different, training organizations, experts, and so on. And we haven't seen quite a big jump in our productivity. And we have gone back to try and understand why these highly technical programs have not been able to give us the expected outcome. And obviously our business is also at their own, they've also spent quite some significant resources in trying to, in training people and also in running some productivity programs on their own. And they also have voiced that they haven't seen the expected improvement out of this program. So in our diagnosis and close checking, we've come to a situation where we realize that the foundational framework to get good outcomes or output out of these interventions has not been there. So there's an issue of engagement and there's been an issue of cooperation. So we would hear that you know, a lot of the workers have not been cooperative of the program. They would view whatever programs that are being implemented as it's for managers, it's for the, you know, they are just on the other side. So that's where we came to a program called SCORE, which is very much workplace cooperation centered. And our trainers, which is Pumeza and Vijay, are going to give us more about what is SCORE, what it does. But from us as bargaining council and the clothing sector and the CTFL team, looking at productivity improvement, we believe and we reckon that there are attitude issues. And, you know, there's great need before we, you know, start realizing a lot out of the investment that we do in training. And this is what SCORE does, trying to build a common vision between the employer and the employee, but also keeping the technical, you know, requirements of, you know, other programs to support that. So that is from my side. I'll thank you very much. I'm just giving an overview, and I'm now going to hand over to Pumeza to then take over from where I am or where I've left. So over to you, Pumeza.
Okay. Okay, so while Steady is busy, Steady, you will need to share from me because you didn't give me permission to share the slides.
All right.
But I see
okay, that's fine.
Charlene has joined. I'm not sure if Shonisani has joined as well. And I know that Dumisani and Grace are not going to be in. So maybe we can give Charlene a minute to just introduce herself as well. And if Shonisani is in the meeting, also to introduce himself. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pumeza. I was actually in the meeting since before the meeting started, so I'm not sure why I was being sidelined by Steady, but anyway, it's Charlene Steyn. I'm based in the Western Cape. I'm work in the productivity space, and I have been doing so for 14 years. And yeah, I trained alongside Pumeza and Vijay, so happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Colleagues, as I'm presenting, I'm just the voice to trigger the discussions. But if you need to chip in while I'm presenting, please feel free to do so. But the purpose is just to give the highlight in terms of how the program works to the organizations. Thank you. Steady, are you succeeding?
No, I'm not succeeding. I think I'll just drive from this side then.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think you can start from this slide now, slide 7.
Your presentation is not showing. Okay, can you put it on the presenter view? We can see it now. Thank you. So as mentioned, we're just going to give an overview, high level, and then we're going to have enough time to discuss. I'm looking at the time, we're already at 10:20. Through research, it has been proven that even though we may have the best technologies, the best finances, I think as employers, we know that well, that does not guarantee success, but we have also received, or rather the study has proven that there's a great correlation between increased productivity and improved working conditions. Okay, so again, it's around the element of the job creation versus the business sizes. So if you look at where we are in our industry, we are falling within those elements. I think in South Africa, we actually even having, we are in one of the low income countries, although we do have controlled processes like labor law and in our case, bargaining council holding us accountable to ensure that we are in line with legislation. Again, you can see we are in the sub-Saharan African region. And in terms of that, you can see the labor cost versus the productivity that they do not correlate because of many reasons, like poor management, which is the element that we are trying to work on to improve productivity. Low awareness, of the importance of workplace cooperation. Sometimes we don't follow regulations, we don't get inspected properly, but fortunately, again, we have NBC that does some of the legal elements, but legal elements also do not produce productivity. We know productivity is through workplace cooperation and skilled employees, or skilled organization rather. Thank you, Sidi. Okay, so this is the quote from the World Bank that says aggregate productivity grows when existing firms become better at what they do, when more productive firms enter the market, and when less productive ones exit the market. It also grows when more productive firms become bigger and less productive ones become smaller. So I think we have seen that since COVID. If you are less productive a company, it's difficult to get clients or customers, and you just become smaller and smaller, and then you disappear. But the intent of this program is to ensure we enter the market, we grow, we become sustainable. So, so the rationale for SCORE is to ensure that we improve productivity in our organizations, which will then improve the good working conditions. So we say it's a cycle, those two. So this means increased profitability where workplaces are safe, wages are paid on time, and workers can raise concerns. Not just only concerns, but also can be given an opportunity to troubleshoot, problem solve, and also provide solutions. Increased productivity where workers receive basic training. We are fortunate in our industry that we have a SETA. I mean, I think textile also, we are all in the same SETA where we are able to receive funding for the training that we need. So we can see that mainly we don't achieve productivity, not because our people are not competent, but it's the willingness that is lacking for them to not be productive. Decreased productivity where workers are concerned with verbal abuse. So where people don't feel treated with respect and are not included in decision making, then they lose the willingness to do the work, which then drops the productivity. Compliance strengthens relations with buyers and brings more attractive business. I know in the framework of South Africa, we have BBBE that maybe the companies are looking for. Now we're even having the climate, and the, I would say rather the measures in terms of how we are improving in the side of living green. Thank you, Steady. So what does its program entail? The program entail 5 modules. However, based on the feedback we have received on the 2 cohorts that we have run, this year we are focusing on workplace cooperation, because workplace cooperation is so impactful that it triggers all these other 4 automatically to happen and improve in the organization. So we will be running this over 2 days. So the workplace cooperation looks at bringing in employees, managers, and everybody into one vision, to share the same vision, to run the same process. And that includes your workers being part of what are the projects that are going to help us to become the best company we want for. This is done within your organization. This is what makes a difference between SCORE and other consulting services, is that you decide where you want to make improvement in your organization. So within this workplace cooperation we are running with you, you may choose, no, our company wants to focus on quality, which is looking in terms of customer needs, the quality, and measuring the quality aspects. Or you can say, no, we would like to focus on productivity. Our machines are not working well, or they are staying down most of the time. We don't have proper maintenance. We want to leave green, and we don't know how to do that. Or you may be saying, you know, we want to improve our HR and training strategies to make sure that we retain and attract the right people. Or you may say, no, our focus will be on health and safety to make sure that we are not only compliant to the law, but our employees feel safe. So this includes things like fairness, you know, in terms of gender, employment equity, and all that. So I would pause here and just ask 2 of my colleagues to respond. Yeah, you can leave it on. Let's talk on this one. And Vijay and Charlene, I'm not sure if you have anything to add more.
Hi, Pumeza, and hi, everyone. I think Pumeza's covered the entire program very well there. She's speaking about things that we'll cover in our training, and then the focused intervention with the team that you set up will get the results that you're looking for. Don't expect us to be, you know, a magic wand people. We can only train people and then expect them to undertake the projects within the factory. There are challenges, but we'll speak about the challenges later.
Charlene, you good?
Yeah, I think you've covered it nicely. I think, you know, alluding to what Vijay alluded to, the fact that we are facilitators. We do not do the implementation on your behalf. So when we leave, the organization is capacitated to do similar projects. It's not a case of when the program is over, everything falls over. So I think the main emphasis is developing the capacity within the organization to continue with the continuous improvement interventions that have been started through this workplace cooperation program. Thank you.
Thanks, colleagues. So how do we do this? So we will have a briefing meeting. So if you sign up with Steady, then one of the trainers will be assigned to your company. Then we will have a briefing meeting with your leadership team. This is where we pave the strategy and what is allowed, when can we have the meetings, because there need to be your commitment for this to succeed. And then we will come in and do the half-day baseline assessment. This is where we do the walkabout in your factory. We need you to approve that we take pictures of the before, so that after the project, we can actually be able to say, this is what has been, that has improved in your organization. And again, this baseline, we will give feedback in terms of the areas that, if you have chosen, for instance, quality, then we take that baseline and then we work on in terms of what we would focus on in that area. I mean, this is coaching that we provide. Then we will do a 2-day training workshop with you. So what is this workshop? Who's attending this workshop? We select what is called, you select in your organization, what we call enterprise improvement team. So this will have a representative from each key operational area. So for instance, if you are focusing on quality, we need at least one senior representative that is going to be part of this committee. We need, if you have union, one member of union, and then the supervisor, the employee representative. I mean, I think we know we've got skills development committees and employment equity committees in our companies. So the representation should be of that of organization. But again, people who can also impact the way you want to focus. Then from there, we will do visits with you. So if we count, we will have 4 visits with you. The first visit, we include the baseline. We include the 4 visits we're going to do, 3 visits we're going to do with you. And the 5th visit will be the last visit, where we will help the team to work on the presentation, to present. It's sort of like a close-out meeting that we will be having on the 5th visit. Okay, so an example here, I think Charlene or Vijay, you can give a practical experience. I think one of you was involved. I know you both worked in the Durban, where they improved. I mean, this is not our pitches, but we also had a similar case where people would be looking for things, and what was the turnaround just on working on reorganizing stuff. By the way, we call these 5S in terms of the training.
Yeah, yes, of course. You know, if you work in a disorganized area, it means that you're going to take longer to complete your job. You're going to be frustrated with the surroundings, and it's going to make you uncomfortable. So a more organized area will definitely lead to a productivity improvement, a better workplace. Cooperation from the workers. They'll be more satisfied. They'll feel empowered about the workplace. So we're looking to improve that as a result of, pointing the guys in the direction where they will identify projects that need similar reorganizing and get them to undertake the project in order that they will make places suitable for working. It comes from the old management philosophy where, more organized places, we had to, from the management handbooks, we always have to get ourselves organized to get productivity right and to improve quality. So that's my take on it for the time being. We'll deal with more issues as we deal with them on the factory floor.
Okay, thank you. And this is the global statistics in terms of what the companies that have participated have said. So, for instance, better workplace cooperation, of course, then 22% of the companies said absenteeism decreased. 42% of the companies that participated said the labor turnover decreased. Again, this will be where now your HR and the way we treat people will be affected. And then 68% says there was defect reduction, 51% safer work environment, and then 50% of the companies said there was increased productivity, less waste, energy savings and cost reductions. So these are the things that we will measure, some of the things, not just these ones. These are more like your outcomes, when you say in summary what we've achieved as an organization. But there are other measurements that we use to get to this outcome that seems huge. So I think this will be the good time to share. Okay, you've received the implementation for the 2024. And if you have questions around what is expected, and I know that sometimes as managers, we don't have time to go through these. So I'll run quickly through the objectives. The objective is that we have improved business productivity. We have businesses operating at full capacity, competitive and sustainable business, shared vision at all levels in the organization, engaged and motivated workforce, and world-class business status. And to qualify to participate in the program, you need to be a registered clothing and textile business, either in KZN, Western Cape, Free State, and Gauteng. Steady will clarify, I think I see Eastern Cape there. So he will clarify that. Compliant with gazetted employment conditions, employing at least 25 employees and at least 2 years in operation. And then, as Steady have said, we've participated in 18 companies. Steady, I'm not sure if you would like to play that Shiovita case study. I'm not sure if all of us know Shiovita, but Shiovita is a company in the Western Cape that participated in the first cohort of 2020. And this is their end result after participating on SCORE.
See the video?
The link, it's in the link.
It's on the link.
Yes. Unless you want to just send it later on, if you can't play it, we can.
All right.
If you double click on the link there under Shiovita case study, it should play.
I've downloaded it from the link. Not sure why. Maybe I just need to share it. Or maybe what we can do is let's just send it to the companies. Or they just see maybe. Yes,
yes. You can send it by email. It will be.
Yeah, maybe we can just talk through it for now, Pumeza.
Okay, so I mean, I've already shared what the employees are sharing their experiences there. So it's the group that has been in the enterprise improvement, which includes the senior management and employees sharing what their success story is. So we will send through this video to you as well as a testament in terms of whether you want to participate or not.
Okay.
Can you move to the next slide, Sted?
Sorry, I think I just lost a bit my. Okay, let me just reshare. Can you see the presentation now?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Okay, there's something missing in that slide, the first slide. So last year we did a mapping study with ILO, and some of the things that came up in terms of so we interviewed the companies that participated on SCORE, and we, as trainers also, we sat and say what were the challenges that we were faced with. So I see Steady that the first column there is missing, but mainly what, can you see content on that column or not?
I can see column, this on my side. I don't know why it's not
showing.
Yes.
Do you mind sharing it with us, please?
All right. Let's see. Let me just share it. Right. Let's see again. Can you see it well now?
No, Steady. Are you able to say it to us? We will make sure that the presentation, when it's sent, is got it. But can you just cover that first column for me?
All right. Apologies. I think there's something that is not right here. Okay. Apologies. Let's see here.
Okay, Steady. I will read from my side, if you don't mind, and then for the sake of time, but I would like you to show the presentation, please.
All right. Feedback. All right. I'm just going to be loading the presentation now. I'm just going to reload it, but you can continue with the presentation from your side. Yes.
Are you showing the slide now?
Wait.
Okay, so the three areas that we covered in terms of this feedback, we looked at the value added. So the companies said the program opened people's eyes on the bigger picture. It improved housekeeping and productivity. And the value for score, we looked at business from outside point of view, which helped the organization to realign practices, e.g. housekeeping, improved engagement. The program has been beneficial in increasing activities for people to want to be at work, the morale, the increase in production and efficiency, increase in communication, refreshing policies and procedures, and communicating. And then the other value add was that the program made people aware of how business is running, understood productivity, workplace quality fundamentals, and how to be more competitive in the global market. So that was the value add. The improvement areas, which are the areas either that the company said they didn't do well, or they felt that we need to adapt the program on, was we need to try to get more people involved in the process. And I think this was more around saying, let us include more organizations to benefit. And then selecting wrong people made us not benefit as we would have in the project, as they failed to implement in a way that we could benefit. So again, it's very important when you choose that team, that it is the right people with positive attitude, credibility, and influence, because these will be the people that will run the program for you, the project for you in your organization. It is labor intensive. I believe in small group activities, they yield better communication. This is where this year we have refined the program, because we focused on all 6 modules in the previous 2 cohorts. So hence we say now we're going to focus on workplace cooperation, and you will select only one area that we want to focus on, so that it's not labor intensive, because also the impact becomes less if the energies are thrown everywhere. And then the other improvement area was that the company felt that we need injection of these programs more, so they need score level 2. And then post-COVID, some companies forgot about it, so they needed a refresher. The challenges that we have experienced with companies in terms of less impact on the outcomes is that some management did not get involved. As soon as they do EIT, then they don't get involved in the process, they lose interest, and then it becomes difficult sometimes to release people to attend the meetings. So those are the challenges that we have faced. And then the importance of the selection and commitment of your team is very important. We need to follow through on score commitment by enterprises. So for instance, we ask that the EIT trains the other employees in the organization, so that the score is not only owned by those 7 to 12 people, but it's owned by everyone in the organization. And again, the focus areas were too broad. So we are now focusing on workplace cooperation +1. So I think if my colleagues have additions, then we will go into discussion and questions. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe I can just say, I think one of the key things is top management commitment to the process, because very often we found that shop floor employees were enthusiastic, but their enthusiasm was not necessarily aligned to where top management wanted to go. So their interventions were not supported or blocked. And so I think it's key that there is top management involvement from beginning to the end, not only at the start of the process, but it's got to be the way of doing business. It's not a flavor of the month project. This is something that needs to be inculcated into the culture of the organization so that it is the way we do business going forward. And I think those are the companies where we saw the greatest success, is where it was taken on board as a culture change. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, Pumeza, Charlene, and Vijay for the presentation. I think we have all heard about SCORE, what the program does and what the program is. So yes, one of the key things is that we're looking at capacitating your business. So we are looking at building the skills into your team members. Like I think Pumeza has explained, the training, that's a 2-day training. So you are not going to stop the factory, but you are going to select the people that you know are influential, they are change agents, they will be able to go and train their other colleagues. Then at the same time, I mean, the program is going to open the eyes of the workers, because we are going to use the data in your factory or the things that are in your factory for the workers to decide where do we go from here. The management will obviously give the vision of the business and where the business is going. So we are not going to say that workers are going to redevelop the vision of the business. The vision remains the same, but we are going to say they need to have a good understanding of what the vision is, and at the same time, they become participative in the outcomes, productivity outcomes, in the progress of the business, in determining the way forward, depending on where the challenges are for the factory. So that's just to sum up what my team has said. And I think the most important part of what we've picked with this program is that relational issues are key to all of this. And this program will take great cognizance in building those relationships as a foundation for the future of the business. It doesn't have to be rolled out in every section of the company. For some businesses that are big, you may actually just choose maybe one floor. Some, they would even choose one line to implement this. Then they obviously take it to the next line, so that they do it in small sections where they can implement it. And then they roll it out to the business going forward. So I think I'll then just hand over to the participants. If there's anyone with questions, then the team will be able to answer. Anyone with questions, you can raise your hand. Unmute and pose any questions. Any questions? I don't see any questions. We become worried when you don't hear questions from the participants. This program is for you. And I think one of the key things with our manufacturing here in South Africa is when you look at our competitive index rating. I think you know that in 2023, we were at number 61 out of 64 as a country. And one of the key inputs into that talks to exactly this program that we are doing, which is productivity. And when we look at the productivity side, there are factors, the factors that are considered with productivity and efficiency. It's a labor market, it's a finance, it's management practices, and attitudes and values. And when we look at the rating of all those things, we were rating close to number 60 out of 64 countries globally. So which tells you that we have a challenge in South Africa, foundational challenge. So that's what we want to be able to use SCORE to influence. And it's your program. It's you customize it to what you want in your factory. I know that it may be a handful of information that you got today, but the trainers are available. They are here to even have a factory discussion with you, explain the program more. I mean, we show the video of what has been done in the previous companies. We hear the workers in those companies talking to what SCORE did to them. And I mean, the improvements in those businesses that have participated and did it well were phenomenal. They're sustainable. They, even up to now, a year or two down the line, they are quite sustainable. So we would want to hear from you. What is your expectation of this program? If there are any questions, please feel free. We'll be very happy to at least hear from you as the industry, whether this is something that you would want, or whether there's something different that you're looking for, or maybe if there's any other question of that may not have been clear from our presentation, then you can just feel free to ask. I don't know. Thank you. So in the quietness, what I will do now is just go to the next part, which is way forward. So on the way forward is, we have got 45 opportunities for these, based on our funding. So when I say 45 opportunities, so this is individual business opportunities. So that's when your business will have this consultant working with your factory, and the whole period is a period of 4 months. So your team will be able to communicate with them. They will have online sessions. Then the consultants will visit your factory to work with your team. They will do coaching of your team members. They will ask you questions. There are systems like graphs, KPI sheets, and so on that are available for those companies that may not have. And part of what this program does is we don't try to recreate things that are already existing, which are part of this program. So if there are meetings, how do we then customize those meetings to talk to the SCORE program? If there are, report sheets, we don't want to bring extra to the work that these guys, the teams on the floor are doing. So it's going to complement where they are already good and best practices existing. So for interested companies, to express your interest, you just send us an email, and you obviously state the reason why you think this program, you need it for your factory. It may be because there's a line that's not performing well. It may be because you've got too many rejects. It's just so that it gives us a perspective of what the challenges are. And when you have done that, there is a 1 or 2 page MOU that we have. It's just a commitment on MOU, where we say, as a company, just commit, or the leadership will commit to say, we are interested in this program, and we are going to commit time and people and resources and support so that we get the best output out of this program. And we also send it to our funders to say this as proof that these are the companies that participated as well. Then once we have done that, the consultant will have a meeting with you as a factory, and they will discuss further with you to explain to you what the program needs, and the type of person that you may need to co-opt as a trainer or as trainers. That will come out of the baseline. They will also walk and pick some experiences, ask you questions, and it's all inclusive. It's an inclusive process. Then after that, then a consultant will be given to your factory. And from there, that's when we'll then organize to say, we are now going to do our 2-day training. So that's if there's a site, a place to train, which is conducive, then we'll use that. If there's no site place to do that, then we will help as bargaining council to look for the place. We also have some limited funding to look for a good training venue for those 2 days. So it's not 2 days where you are taking everyone out of the factory, but a selected team. That is an inclusive team. And one of the key things as well is that union, it will be very good to include the union so that we also get a buy-in in your team, so that we know that it's an all-inclusive kind of process. So that's one thing that we do, but the responsibility of the program remains with the leadership and the management of the company. So that's basically the process from our side. Then once your consultant is there, they will be sending us report, and we'll be sending report to the funders of what's happening. We will have KPI sheets, and we'll be tracking what are the improvements in the factory. And if there are any challenges, we are available to also work with the trainers and the consultants to sort out those issues if there are any issues that come out of it. But together we are looking at it being a progressive program. If there are any other requirements like technical requirements in the factory that we may not have within the core team, that will come out as projects, and we'll also look at ways to support that. So yeah, I think that's all from my side. I will hand over back to my team if there's anything in terms of way forward, and maybe if there are any questions from the participants. Thank you.
I think,
Sorry,
yeah.
Phumeza. Yeah, no, I was just going to say, I did leave my email address in the chat, so there may be questions that come after this when people are mulling over the information that has been shared. I will avail myself to explain the process further, and if there are any, I can direct it as well to the person if it's not in the Western Cape. And just a comment from me is this is a great way to start the continuous improvement journey. It's a subsidized way, importantly, but the fact that it's subsidized doesn't mean that it's inferior quality. If anything, the fact that we've got international eyes on us, holding us accountable, the big emphasis is on impact. So it's not a program where you're going to be spending time and you don't see impact. We are held accountable for the impact that will be realized in the organization. So I think it's a great opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, so Steady, there's a question, or you've put your email as well. So yeah, so I think Steady will also channel the questions to the relevant trainers once there is a need to meet or connect. Thank you.
Yes. So I think, yes, we have said KZN and mainly Western Cape, Eastern Cape, and Free State. So we know that we have some factories that may not be in these areas. Still feel free, because what we are interested in is where there is a factory that belongs to us, then we want to find ways of impacting it. And there is limited, obviously there's limitations in this funding, but we can find ways from our side to also come and help your factory. You could be somewhere in the Northern Cape and you want us to come and and do something in your factory or run this program in your factory. We will also look at that with the available team. So don't feel like you have been segregated. I think we want this practice, which is core, to be in every factory in our industry. We believe it has done a lot of things. We'll send you some links just to show what it has done in other countries and what it has done even in the factories that locally that have already participated at the pilot stage. So now with learnings, we believe we are going to get a lot out of it. And yeah, we believe it's one program that we can work together to challenge some of the issues that we have in the sector. And also proudly, these trainers that we have are very, very experienced trainers. They all have a minimum baseline of a bachelor's degree in a technical field, at least 10 years experience on the shop floor, working on the shop floor. We have given them exposure in the clothing sector, so they understand the culture and attitudes in the clothing and textile sector. They may not be machinists, but believe you me that they will be able to do quite great. And they are also linked with other companies. So there's quite a lot of learnings that we are going to get out of them. They are all coaches, so they can coach your management team, your junior management team, your middle management team. So there's quite a huge opportunity out of this great team that has been trained by LO and certified for Africa. And these are our 6 available trainers in South Africa. So feel free, talk to us. This is your program. There's significant money that has been put into it. We want together to make it a success. So thank you. I'm only worried that not even one of our participants asked the question. I see some thumbs up on the charts. So yeah, but otherwise we're quite excited. The program you can start at any stage, at any time. That is conducive to you. It's active now. So we will look at that together and see what is workable for you. So feel free and talk to us, then we can engage more. Thank you very much. All right. Anything else? Parting shots, VJ?
Oh, yeah, I'm back. Seems I was cut off because of my computer battery. But anyway, I think, this is the right time to engage in training and get your team set up. Because normally in the South African context, we get very busy towards the end of the year and we can't release people for their meetings and their projects. So it's better to get the training over right now and then move forward with with projects. And, we can guide them and coach them through the initial project, and they should be able to take this forward on their own afterwards. It is interesting that they will be participating in the program. I'm excited for this program coming into South Africa because as a trainer and a long-standing person in the training field, I thought there must be a different way because we've got a different culture of people entering the clothing and textile environment. We don't have those who finished standard 2 in the past and joined it like 30 years ago or something. You had people with low levels of education. Now you've got higher levels of education available to us with better understanding. And of course, they're looking for a better work culture. Right, we don't want to lose that motivation on them, and I think they will definitely assist in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That is great. Thank you very much, VJ. I think Charlene and Pumeza, thank you very much. Then also, just as a parting shot, I know we have said that the business must be registered. Ideally, it must be compliant, but even then, we know that there are some businesses that are on exemptions or that are not compliant to the bargaining council because of the challenges that we have. This is part of what we are trying to also solve with this program. So feel free to also reach us so that we use this program to help you if there is a challenge with regards to that. So yeah, I think we are available for you. We will work together. So thank you very much and have a wonderful day. I look forward to hearing more from you. And also, if you need the presentation, I'll be able to share the recording with you. And thank you very much, team, and have a wonderful day. Pumeza, thank you very much. Charlene, thank you very much. And all our participants, thank you very much. We really appreciate you. Have a beautiful and wonderful day further. Thank you.
Thanks, Teddy.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.